Oh, shoot, my microphone.
What are you, new at this?
Yeah. I've never made a YouTube video before in my entire life. I'm a fraud.
Fraud!
It's actually my evil twin sister that's been making these YouTube videos all these years. Scandal.
Okay, I want to wash my hands quick though, because I've been petting the animals. Okay.
You can tell she's never worked at a pet store before.
What do you mean?
There were many times where I'd be scrubbing tanks for 3 hours and then go, oh, it's lunchtime, and not wash my hands before eating.
Yeah, no.
You just lose all sense of, like, touching animals and needing to wash your hands. You just lose all sense of that. Nova's supposed to stay out of the bathroom.
Oh, so I should shut the door behind
No,
me?
she's luckily getting good at the idea that she's not supposed to go in there, so she was sitting at the door for a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, she's sometimes a good cat. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
There have been moments.
Alright.
Alright, should we actually start this video for real this time?
Yeah, it might be helpful.
Oh crap, you know what I realized?
What?
I have to go upstairs again.
Why?
I lactate.
So how are we starting this?
Hi!
Hello!
Welcome back to my channel. What do I say? I don't even freaking know what I say.
Like, don't you, like, hey, if you want, like, geeky and nerdy stuff, subscribe. Here you go. There it is.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Brittany. If you haven't subscribed yet, you probably should, because I talk about geeky things, except for some days I do sit down with my friends and eat food. So
Say that really fast.
I do say that really fast. I talk really fast, like normally. It's pretty much my personality.
Standard.
Yeah, so
Yo!
I'm going to eat Chipotle for the first time in years, because Chipotle theoretically makes me sick, but we'll see how I handle it this time.
And I'm eating quesadillas because they're bomb.
I'm testing a theory that it's actually the meat at Chipotle that makes me sick, so I have a veggie burrito. And then we also stopped at Caribou for drinks.
What'd you get for yours?
I got a milk chocolate mocha on whole milk, which is actually at Caribou just 2% mixed with half and half.
Behind the scenes. Now you know.
I used to work at Caribou, so. Oh.
Large blended campfire mocha with a straw that will kill turtles. It's also the, like, for bubble tea. They gave me the one for bubble tea.
Well, because it's so, coolers are so thick.
No, they usually give you the regular straws unless they run out. So
I know, because we didn't have these straws when I worked at Caribou.
Did you even have bubble tea? Mm-hmm. That's why.
No, we had normal tea, and then we had the sparkling tea, which wasn't actually tea, it was a flavor that we put into sparkling water. So,
you know what else we need?
What?
Napkins.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Because we don't have napkins in this house. What are you talking about? You act like we are civilized people, Custer.
Yeah. Like, and now in editing, you cut as if we were completely ready to start.
Oh god, no. I love showing off how terrible I am at making YouTube videos. Yeah, so I've not had a veggie burrito before, so this will be
interesting.
I mean, I've had veggie burritos, just I always eat meat whenever I go to Chipotle, because I always thought veggie. But I'm learning more and more that meat does not sit well with me in general, so.
So maybe that's what a large portion of your stuff is, just.
It could be.
Or the seasoning that they use. Hi,
yeah.
hello.
So I am moving more. I'm never going to be fully vegetarian or anything like that, but I would like to go eventually pescatarian. That's kind of the ultimate goal, is to go pescatarian. So eat fish. A vegetarian that eats fish.
Yeah, you can eat all the fish you want. Yeah, not so much for me. Ow.
So I do not trust the way that the woman rolled my burrito. She was really bad at it.
Okay, but they also stuff your burrito full. That's the thing. It's getting harder and harder for many people at Chipotle to roll burritos correctly because they stuff them so full, which is great, but it's also a pain in the butt. Mm-hmm. So what are we going to be talking in this, like, whole thing for?
No, you just talk. That's the whole point.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Life. I never did tell you that story, but I can't.
On camera?
I can't on camera. Because
I wish you could see this cat right now who is, like, climbing into the Chipotle bag.
Well, Paper bags are one of her favorite toys. She got stuck.
It would have been funny if she fell off the couch as well.
Oh my god, this has guacamole and I'm so excited. I never pay the extra money for guacamole. And that's why I was like, veggie burritos come with free guac. Would you please just stay away from stuff?
No, I'm exploring. Adventure, duh.
You live here.
Does she like drop down that hole and like, okay. Because that's why I was laughing to begin with, because it looked as though she fell off the couch through that hole.
She does it on purpose. Sometimes she'll do this. She'll drop down, and she gets back up, and then she'll go back down. It's one of her favorite pastimes. She's a really weird cat. She's a really weird cat.
I didn't realize she was freaking there.
Yeah. She's also like not a Houdini, but she's like magic. I'm trying to figure out which cat she is. Because every cat's a Jellicle cat. You're probably McCavity. Opossum book of practical cats. There also is the poems used to make the musical Cats.
Grew up with dogs. So that's why it freaked people, like our friends like Kelly and Leah loved it when I had those pictures up on like Facebook and Instagram. They're like, oh my god, she's cuddling with a cat. It's like, cats are fine if they're cuddly. I'd rather want a cuddly cat. Leave me alone.
Which is so funny because it'd be more like impressive if Kelly was cuddling with a dog.
Yes.
Kelly hates dogs.
And the funniest thing is that Cosmo loves her.
Oh my god.
Cosmo loves her.
What you talking you? You talking about me?
Yeah, we're talking about you.
Kelly. It's so funny. He will find, it will be the whole group of us, and you will play with him. Leah will play with him and get sneezy. Sarah will play with him. Brooke will play with him. Everybody will play with him. But yet he just wants Kelly's attention. That's all he wants out of life is Kelly's attention.
And she doesn't give it to him. She's like, ew.
No, she tolerates his existence, but that's as far as it goes.
Did you actually watch? Sorry for those of you who don't watch beauty community stuff, but did you watch the entire Shane Dawson series?
I haven't watched the new one that he put on his second channel.
Oh, his Shane Glosson one?
I haven't watched that one yet.
So basically it's the, like, behind the scenes stuff when they cut certain things, and just, like, some funny outtakes of them just goofing off and being them.
That's what I've understood, yeah.
Because Shane and, I think it was just Shane, but Andrew might have helped him cut it a little bit, just to show the break-in, because, like, that was scary for him and Rylan, was these random-ass people, and they described what was going on. So, person broke in and was going around, like, banging on their windows, and it even got to the point that they're, like, crawling on the ground, trying to see underneath the blinds. And they went up, like, horror movie style to one window and, like, slap their hand, and then it's sliding down the pane so you can hear it, like, squeaking down. And it's like, that's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
But apparently Jeffrey told him, it's like, yeah, you need to update your security because you're now in makeup, and that's
a whole different beast.
That's a whole different animal. Because of how much, like, money it is to do black market stuff.
Yeah, and then they're gonna want that stuff to get that black market.
Because then it's like, oh, I'm able to get it first. I'm able to have the edge on people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. So I will watch it at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've just never had enough time to sit down and watch like a 30-minute video. Unless it's my own, because I'm editing.
So what do you use for editing?
I use Sony Vegas.
Okay.
I used to use Pinnacle. I had Pinnacle 11, I think, because it was cheaper than Sony Vegas. My parents got it for me for Christmas. But it was the most vile editing software I think I've ever used in my life.
Yeah.
Like, because at the time I was still doing anime music videos as well, and it wouldn't let me just place a clip wherever I wanted along the timeline. So I had to place everything in the perfect order. in order for me to like do it. So a lot of the videos I did, the music videos I did back then, if something timed out right, I was thrilled. Because I couldn't make the timing work the way I wanted it to. So it was really frustrating. Plus, it was just really glitchy. And so it would freeze on me all the time. It would crash on me all the time. And then the other thing that was really frustrating was it had to load the clip entirely. So I had to put the clips, all of the clips that I wanted to use, into the timeline. And then I had to sit there and load them all, and it would take sometimes up to 3 hours. It was really annoying. It was like the worst. So I eventually got back to getting Sony Vegas. I'm just like, I've been using that now, I suppose, for maybe 6 years now, I think, is when I started using Sony Vegas again. But I just couldn't handle Pinnacle anymore. I actually, at one point, I don't know if it's still on my channel or not, but there was a video on my channel where I just talk about, where I complained about how terrible Pinnacle is. Because I hated it. And my friend, another friend of mine, we haven't talked in a really long time, he left the anime community before I did to join the K-pop community, and then forgot about all of his anime friends. So, because he got like really popular in the K-pop community, because like his stuff like went viral.
Oh wow, okay.
And so he just was like, well, and he stopped talking to all of us.
Asshole.
And I don't know if it was malicious or if he just lost time. I don't know. I'm sort of salty about it, but like.
Got some tips for you for that salt.
Yeah. Anyway, he had Pinnacle as well, and he was like, I love Pinnacle. And I'm like, how can you love Pinnacle? He had a newer version than I did.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, so it gets better. And he goes, it gets better, so just upgrade it. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna get Sony Vegas because I can trust Sony Vegas. So when I'm ready to upgrade, I'm just gonna get Sony Vegas.
Okay.
I have used Adobe Premiere. I mean, Adobe Premiere is by far the best video editing software. It's built to be the best because it's Adobe, right? It's not incredibly user-friendly, so I like the user-friendliness of Sony Vegas. Yeah, you're missing some of the, you know, fun stuff that Adobe Premiere can do. Like Adobe Premiere can automatically sync audio and video, which is nice. But luckily I don't have a separate audio system at this time, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
I plug my microphone directly into my camera. It is nice to know that it can just automatically sync the clapper. Because I don't know if anybody knows that's actually what the clapper is actually for.
Yeah,
it's
for
to sync audio and video.
That's why it's like, I've watched other YouTubers, like, this is how you start your YouTube channel. And they're like, yeah, so if you have separate audio and video, that's why people clap really loud, so then you hear the spike. So then when you see it on your video, you're able to sync it well.
Yeah.
Because of that spike.
Yeah. And that's how movies to this day are still made. So it's nice that they can automatically sync that. But it's not super user-friendly. It's just very...
Wait, you edit your own videos?
Oh my god, the second I can hire an editor is the second I'm going to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like editing. But it's so monotonous, and I'm so sick of hearing my own voice for hours. I'm so sick of it. Honestly, I think I'd have a better time editing other people's videos.
Because then you're not listening to your own voice.
Correct. Obviously, I know myself really well. And so it's a matter of, like, also understanding how I can make myself at least somewhat entertaining. Because you're going to start a YouTube channel at some point, aren't you?
I, like, have a lot of the stuff to do that, but for some reason I just don't start. I think some of it's too much I'm in my own head of, like, trying to fake. And it's also the big thing of, like, what the hell do you start your YouTube channel on?
You're just talking about whatever makes you happy. Right now, for me, that's apparently Power Rangers.
Might be something where it's like just plan on something and just starting it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just trying it out. I think it's also the thing of like, there are just some vicious people out there who just like, I just like being mean because it's fun, and I just don't want to invite that into my life.
Yeah, that is one of the things that does like make YouTube difficult. Because I mean, I have definitely had that. I definitely sometimes still do. My last one was when somebody commented on my rosacea, which is in full, like, vision today because I didn't put any makeup on. But somebody commented.
It's not too bad today.
No, it's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody commented on my rosacea calling me pizza face. And so I said, thank you for saying that my face is delicious, because pizza's pretty delicious. And he's like, no, I'm calling you ugly. And I was like, but pizza's delicious, not ugly. And so then I had friends go and comment their favorite types of pizza. Replying to his comment. He eventually deleted it.
How to fuck with a troll. Okay, no, but sweetie, I love you. But you're gonna have to move because I'm going to curl up my leg. So
You gotta move
meh,
the drum.
meh.
But yeah, I was just saying that because she's like, maybe they'll drop food. Obviously, the worst I had was when I had the audacity to have an opinion about an anime that a lot of people liked, and I didn't.
Because, like, one of the shows that I really love watching is MTV's The Challenge. And I would love to do, like, a commentary on that.
Mm-hmm.
However, some of the challengers have really, like, fanatic stands that are just like, oh boy, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
But it's like, they're one of the top challengers. They've done so many. How can you not, like, talk about the challenge, but also
Right.
not talk about them? And if I disagree with something that they did, or like, hey, you were kind of a bitch, or hey, you were kind of a dick during that point.
Well, that's incredibly
so
offensive to people who actually like them because you're calling them a bitch.
I can't. Like, maybe you need to take a break a little bit because you've been on this so long that you're paranoid.
And that's one thing I really like about the Power Ranger community. Is, yeah, I've come across a couple trolls. One of which just recently commented something really long and really bullying about a specific Power Ranger. So, if you don't know about the drama, there was a Power Ranger who was a kid when he was a Power Ranger. And now, in the current season, there's another, not really kid, he was like 16, I think, when he started the show. But he's considerably younger than the other cast members, making his character
More
considerably younger than the other characters. And the other characters are supposed to be teenagers. So, making him like...
this person kind of has the look of, like, more childlike.
Right.
So then they kind of young cast him as...
Exactly.
Okay.
Where with this kid, with Blake Foster, they actually hired a kid, because he's like my age. Mm-hmm. And he was in the show in 1997. I think he's like a year older than me. I think he was born in 85. He had said something when it was announced that Nate was going to be the Gold Ranger. He had said some stuff on social media that was very bully-y towards Abraham. Now, mind you, the Power Ranger community loves Abraham. We think he's just such a great character. Well, we think he's a great kid. His character's really fun. Nate's really a fun character. Everyone likes him. You don't mess with Abraham right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that one Power Ranger in every season you don't mess with, and he's that one now. I wouldn't say they're as far as stands, but like, you don't mess with him.
Mm-hmm.
So the internet decided to hate Blake Foster for a few days. Which, since I'm part of the Power Ranger community now, I felt like I wanted to comment on it. Anyway, so somebody recently commented on it, just basically saying how horrible of a person Blake Foster is, and like, he's a drug addict and things like that. I'm like, dude, like, you don't know him. I don't know him either. He could be a drug addict. I don't know. Yeah. So I've come across a couple. There's one, I said something a little weird in a video one time. I said something to the effect of like, when the first set of Rangers left, they really never came back aside from Jason. And somebody was like, that's not true. Kimberly came back for the Turbo movie. And I was like, yeah, but like, I count Zordon era as like the first set of Power Rangers. Like, everybody from the Zordon era. That's part of the Zordon era. So like, when I say that, I mean like, Jason came back after the Zordon era. Tommy came back after the Zordon era. Jason's coming back again. Oh my god, I'm so excited. He's coming back to Beast Morphers. I'm so excited. Oh, season 2 can't start soon enough. Starts in the end of February, I guess.
Didn't watch Power Rangers.
That's fine. And so somebody commented being like, you need to know your film history, that you're an idiot because Kimberly came back in the Turbo movie. And I was like, dude, calm down. But for the most part, the Power Ranger community has been very, like, nice. Because, like, one of my, apparently, I didn't realize this was what was going to, this was going to be a unpopular opinion, which I am about to start watching. I'm not excited about it.
What?
I don't like the season called Lightspeed Rescue. I think it's horribly acted. I felt like it was pretty shoddily written. Just wasn't done well. And apparently that's an unpopular opinion. But people have been like, oh, I kind of understand why you don't like it though.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it.
And see, with that first person, if they had left a comment of like, I don't understand what you mean by like they left when they came back.
Right.
So like, talking like, can you give me more context of like,
Right.
or more clarification, I should say, of what you're talking about? Because like, there are certain things like, oh yeah, this person had this time span and they didn't really come back, but then they did come back.
Right.
Or it's like, if I want to talk about certain things like, there's this, but then there's this.
It's how you approach things, you know? You don't have to be a jerk.
But there are some people who just like to watch the world burn.
Well,
And they just love being an asshole.
kind of like one of the big reasons I don't like the Eagles. Kind of one of the big reasons I don't like the Packers. I mean, there's other reasons I don't like the Packers, but I'm the same with the Patriots. But again,
They're the cheeseheads. Who cares?
sorry to anybody who likes the Packers.
I'm not. Screw them. I don't like them.
I don't either. But what I don't like, and this is going to be really offensive to people who do like the Packers, or the Patriots, or the Eagles, I don't like their fan bases.
I feel as though a lot of Eagles and Packers and Patriots fans, some of them who understand, like, if you reference certain things, they get it and understand, but there are others who are like, fuck you!
I mean, be passionate about your team, but there's a difference between being a fan and being an asshole.
Like, did I like that the Eagles won that Super Bowl? Fuck no, I just really didn't like the fact that we then had to deal with their stupid ass fans.
And they caused some damage around the city.
I don't know if they would have been able to cause damage here, but it's like, when you're sitting here throwing alcohol at people and then talking about a 97-year-old woman saying like, screw that bitch and things like that, you're an asshole and I don't really like you.
Yeah. I just don't like the fan bases, you know? You can be passionate.
I don't
Without
like
being an
certain
asshole.
parts of their fan base that unfortunately is
Are
a
loud.
large part of the focus of their fan base, yes.
And so that makes me not like the teams as much either.
Okay.
Because the teams don't go, guys,
There's another reason why not to like the Patriots, because
they're cheaters.
And it's just Patriots. It's like in baseball. Have you ever heard the thing for Derek Jeter? It's like, yeah, Derek Jeter's great. He did a lot for the game of baseball, and you still don't fucking like him. Why? Because he was a goddamn Yankee.
Yep. There's always that one team in every professional sport.
Where it's like, we just, nah.
Sometimes I feel like it's the Canucks for the NHL. Everybody seems to hate the Canucks.
Maybe, yeah. But I don't know about that.
Problem is the Canucks aren't winners.
Now it might be the ninth. Not because of their fans or anything, because of the fact how they were able to build their team
So freaking quickly.
in which they were able to basically essentially cherry pick. They were able to just from all of the teams. And because Minnesotans can hold on to things for a long time, especially when we did get screwed, Minnesota got screwed, and any new team that comes after got screwed, and then Vegas gets this, like, sweetheart deal.
Yeah, no, the Raiders
Because-
are going to Vegas too.
Not surprising, because they just... I feel like the Raiders organization just bops around from city to city.
Kind of like the Rams.
The Chargers screwed up because they moved from San Diego to LA, and people just don't like them anymore. So for Christmas, I bought Steven. Changing the subject. But I bought Steven.
You bought Steven? Gross. Why'd you buy your brother?
Shut the fuck up. So I bought some merch from a YouTuber, so I bought H2O Delirious merch for him. I bought the long sleeve because they were sold out of the sweatshirt. Then I looked online again. They had the sweatshirt, and I'm like, yes! So I got the Raccoon hoodie. So that's why I don't think you've seen the back of it.
I don't think so.
I was behind you the whole time. You know what we should talk about? The fact that you're going to Disney.
Oh my god, I can't think about anything else. I'm so excited. We're staying at a new resort that we've stayed at before, so it'll be different and exciting.
Okay. Because that's why this mukbang is finally happening.
Because she's gonna live at my house for a week. I mean, not starting today.
Not starting today.
But we need to walk through everything for you. Well, we still haven't walked through everything down here yet. Or even really anything. You just know the security system and about Cobalt's heating pad. But yeah, I'm very excited to go to Disney World. I can't even remember how many times I've been to Disney World now.
More times than I've ever been even close to Disney World. I've been on what you would call like the campus of Disney.
This is my 8th time.
Yeah, I've been on like the campus or the grounds because...
Property.
Thank you. Went to Florida for softball in college and we went to Kissimmee, so it's like near it in that area. Literally went to go see a game. I think that's when Denard Span was with the Nationals. And they were there and we saw a game. I'm like, why can't we just go? We're like right here.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really gonna make me sad when I go to Paramorphicon, was because the last bunch of years Paramorphicon's been in Anaheim.
Oh yeah, you were telling me. So you and Dylan wanted to go
to Disney because
Disney.
it's literally across the street.
But then it got too expensive for Paramorphicon to be in Anaheim.
It wasn't that it was too expensive. Anaheim made really weird rules thanks to VidCon. Made really weird rules, and for VidCon it works because VidCon doesn't really have, you know, the meet and greet, sit down, sign autographs. But Power Rangers and other like geeky conventions like that, like,
that's a large portion of what they do.
Huge portion of the moneymaker. So they had to move it because they couldn't have them just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, you know, like just hanging out. They couldn't do that anymore. At least this is my understanding. I don't know the full like reasoning for moving it, but they moved it back to Pasadena.
Well, with those rules, and I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't follow them. Nova?
The fines, I guess, are like ridiculous.
They would have been fined.
Yeah.
Because you would have had to have different security.
Right. And that's just it. They had to hire like specific security. Like there's just a lot, and they didn't want to deal with it to the new rules in Anaheim, so they moved it back to Pasadena because that's where it started. I think was in Pasadena. I think that's what Tony said, because when I was hanging out with Tony Oliver, who, if you don't know, was one of the like original producers of Power Rangers. He's also an anime voice actor and voice director. I was hanging out with Tony in October because he was at Anime Fusion, and he and I got lunch together on Sunday while we were waiting for closing ceremonies, and we were talking about that, and I was like, I'm going to go to Paramorphicon finally this year, because he'd been saying I should go, because I've known Tony for a few years, because he goes to D2 every year. And so, and because I'm staff, obviously, like...
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's been telling me for a long time I need to go to Paramorphicon. I'm like, I'd love to, but it's usually like the same weekend, or like the weekend before, or the weekend after GeekCon, and that just never would have worked out for me.
Was GeekCon the one in Wisconsin?
Yes.
Screw them.
Yeah.
Go on some crazy adventure.
Yeah. We need to make a wine story time. Because that's the problem, is like, yeah, I've had some weird shit happen in my life, but like, not enough for my wine story time to be as sustainable as I'd like it to be. Because then my mom was like, you need to start making up stories. I'm like, I'm sure that's what half of the story times are on YouTube. I just happen to tell real stories. Because some of the stories that people tell are...
It's just kind of crazy, like, some of the stories. It's like, is it actually happening?
I'm sure, like...
Or are you just a magnet, or are you just being that dramatic, and it's just, like...
I think that the stories are probably mostly true, but they embellish for drama.
Yes.
I have never, that I know of, embellished, unless my memory of that situation is different than what actually happened. Yeah. To my knowledge, I have never embellished in any of my story times. To my knowledge, I have never embellished. But, like I said...
Either that or we do a story time of, like, after we do like a Tough Mudder or something. It's like, how'd it go?
God. That would be fun for you and I to get back here and just put a bunch of towels before we even like wash off. Put a bunch of towels on my thing.
I will say, just because of when I got done, there were so many people like in the like
For the shower.
for the shower. Like, that's what we can talk about. That Tough Mudder, like,
Or we could get beer before we leave and do it right there.
and just like sit in the car and just like record in the car or something.
Or set it up right outside the car and just sit on the ground.
Yeah. Or just sit in the back, just like chilling and drinking beer. That'd be it. Problem is, though, we would not be able to drive that.
Oh, I can still drive with one beer in me.
That I would be the one just drunk in the passenger side.
Yeah, you need more Polish blood. You don't think you have any Polish blood, do you?
I actually want to do one of those, like, Ancestry DNA things. Like, I would love to do it. Because Mom has done it. I think we wanted Dad to do it, but then...
I want my mom to do it. And my dad, but I want my mom to do it.
Like, but then his, like, expired because, like, you have to do the spit tube thing. I would want to do Ancestry, but I would also want to do the other one, the...
23andMe.
23andMe.
I did 23andMe because the map seemed more readable. Like, the readings seemed more... Like, I understood them more when I would watch videos. Plus, I wanted the health portion.
Yeah. I also bought Shane Dawson merch, and I just got an email saying, like, this is back in stock now! Do I really want a pig purse that I don't really think I would be using, but I want it?
I just want the eyeshadow palette, and both of them, and I want the lipsticks.
I got...
Lip glosses? What are they called? Lip what?
the...
There's a gloss, which I don't care about.
I think they're the lip velours.
I know literally nothing.
I think Jeffree Star calls them lip velours.
Okay.
Or his velour lipstick. But I bought something off of Beautylish, so I have the mini Conspiracy palette.
You do?
And then the Shane color from his lipsticks.
Okay.
But I also I don't need more makeup palettes, but I want to get them again when they release it in March.
What are you doing, weird cat?
Yo! Back off my bag! But to do it again... Oh, I probably have the straw wrapper in here and she saw it.
She probably stole it right out of your bag.
Yeah, it's gone now. They're going to release it in March, and that's when they'll have that green color that everybody really loved and liked, and they were like, we want this one! Why'd you take it out? Like, we couldn't find a place to put it!
Yeah.
But I would want all of that.
Yeah, I want...
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you block her hole?
I blocked her hole.
How dare you block her hole? That sounds really bad. You okay over there, Custer?
Not really, no. But I'll figure it out.
But yeah, I do want those. And then also another YouTuber I watch came out with lipsticks. Because I have Colleen Ballinger's, both of Colleen Ballinger's lipsticks.
Safiya
Nygaard, I want her lipsticks.
I know, but I think they're not on ColourPop anymore.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they still...
I just got an email from ColourPop like a couple weeks ago saying that they restocked.
Oh my god.
Because ColourPop's the one that did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to buy those. And I'm going to wait till
I got
Disney.
so many emails from Shane Dawson merch. Like, they sent it to me like 4 times. Like, this product is back in stock and get it now.
Well, yeah, because that stuff just has been selling out like in a couple hours.
I was lucky enough to be able to get, during Black Friday, to get 2 of his sweatshirts.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. The Conspiracy one, and then the black with the pink pig. That one. I thought the Shane Dawson Conspiracy one, I don't know why, but it looked like a zip-up hoodie, but it's just a plain pullover hoodie.
See, and I don't know where I sit right now where that's concerned. I used to really love pullover hoodies, but recently I've been really into like zip-ups, which is why I'm obsessed with this particular hoodie, because this is literally the only zipper hoodie that fits me right now that I have.
Mm-hmm. But his ones, they were really good, I will say. There was some drama with his merch just because the fact on the website it says 100% cotton, but then when you look at
The tag.
it's like 80-20, so like 80% cotton and then like polyester. And people were showcasing the inside of their sweatshirts.
Well, but the 20% polyester may be also just the design work.
It could be, but it's like one of those things that...
Right. Where the sweatshirt itself is probably 100% cotton. Oh, it's not? Okay. Where's the polyester in it? Or is it just mixed in?
Probably like mixed in, or where the stretchy parts are.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
That's what I was thinking.
Because people also showed the neck of their hoodie, because they're like, oh, they've used a different hoodie and that's where it is. And yep, that's for sure what it is, because mine, like, you could see where they cut the tag.
Excuse me.
However, the tag was still in my bag. So the original tag for the original sweatshirt, because they have the, like, Shane Dawson one.
Shady.
A little bit, yeah. But,
I mean, it's not the worst kind of shady, but
it's like,
shady.
But I understand it, like, it takes a lot to be able to do, like, the designing and everything else. So it's like, if you're able to get unisex sweatshirts, but then you just put your own tag in them, I get it. But then just make sure that you're properly labeling them so that you're in compliance with the law.
Great.
What were we talking about? We jumped around.
We did.
Have fun editing this. Or have fun watching this, because it's just...
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, all I can think about is Disney World. I do want Safiya Nygaard's lipsticks, though.
That's why I'm on my... So if y'all are seeing me on my phone... Oh, something else is back in stock from Shane Dawson.
Let me love you.
No! I don't want to love you.
The claws are now out. The claws are out now. She's like, I didn't let my guard down once. I will not make that same mistake again. I will bite you.
Yeah, Mom, and I'll scratch you to pieces. Bite me.
I'm trying to put you down. I'm trying to reposition you. Goodness gracious.
Yes, because I would much prefer that she does that, like, that way and not running towards me. Like, bah!
It's so funny because I've come to the conclusion that my cat only loves me in the middle of the night when she wants to wake me up and cuddle. Because any other time she doesn't really cuddle. She'll sit on my lap, but if I touch her, she will murder me. So I am just her seat. But in the middle of the night, she will wake me up and cuddle. Like I said, I have both of Colleen Ballinger's lipsticks. I don't really wear the Miranda one very much because I just don't pull off a really, like, vibrant red. And my lips look weird when I wear a red lipstick. I feel like only people with large lips can effectively pull off, like, that kind of red.
Holy shit, piss fuck.
What?
Like, so many.
But see, like this is the Miranda one. And when I say it red,
Holy fuck, that's red.
it red. And like my lips look really weird when I put it on. So I don't wear this one very often. But I've worn the Daisy May lipstick in many videos. Basically, if my lips don't have that deep burgundy color, I'm wearing another one. I said, if you order your Safiya Nygaard stuff right now, order me one too, and I'll just Venmo that to you too.
That's what I was gonna say.
There, see?
I like it. Oh, but that's the Miranda one?
This is the Miranda one.
I like the color, but yeah.
Do you? Yeah, it just doesn't look right on my face. Like I said, for this kind of deep red, I honestly feel like you have to be like a woman with, or a person with really big lips. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I think it just looks weird.
But then again, I feel like just because of the rosacea, it just...
Well, yeah, and if I'm wearing makeup, maybe it's a little different, but...
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, there's so much! Gotta hand it to you, Colleen Ballinger.
What'd she do her lipsticks through?
She just sells hers on her own.
Oh.
She found like a private maker or whatever. She doesn't do it through anybody. At least I don't think so. What does the bottom say? But yeah, I feel like this just looks really weird on my face. But I don't know, maybe I'll try it with like a full face get up.
Well, both will be getting her entire kit, so.
How much was it?
$74.54.
For both?
Yeah, for both of them.
Oh, okay, I was gonna like, you just spent 74 of my own dollars? Woohoo! I'm very excited because I wanted her stuff. I actually signed up to win her stuff.
I really wanted to win her friggin' lip. Like, I
Yeah.
signed up to win that one, yeah.
And it was really funny because then she sent an email. I got an email. It said I got an email like notification, Safiya Nygaard, and I was like, what? And I clicked on it and I read it, and I thought at first I won because the way that it was worded, it sounded like I had won it. And she's like, no, you didn't win it this time, but I was like, bummer.
I got another email talking about this freaking Shane Dawson bag.
I would be unsubscribed from that email list so fast. I can't handle that much email.
But I don't know if, like, they meant to send them out. Like, I think it, like, screwed up somehow. Because that is far too many.
Yeah.
With this bag.
Yeah.
Like, holy good gracious. So
Right
yeah,
here.
the regular kit is like $46.
Yeah, something like that.
It was on sale for $34.50 today.
It's a really weird can.
Yeah. But Coors Light. Should get some Grain Bell Northeast.
I have some. I just don't have a bottle opener down here. That's why I grabbed this. I actually do have Northeast in my fridge right now. Oh my god.
Okay, I will tell you the... You want to guess how many freaking emails? 8! 8 emails talking about this bag!
I won't be that far away in a week.
I would love... Okay. I feel like we have had this conversation before. Did I actually say this to your face that you were a Disney snob?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you've called me a Disney snob because I refuse to not stay on property.
And I'm also the cheapskate who wants to be able to stay as cheaply as possible, so then, like, more experiences, but then also more spending money if I buy a bunch of gifts, so...
But the convenience factor.
I'd rather be slightly inconvenienced by staying off-site.
Slightly? You don't know how inconvenient it is to stay off-site.
Okay,
We used to.
But I
We used
remember
to.
asking you, like, the prices of that, and then you never got back to me of, like...
Well, because
what
we
the
gotta
price-
figure out where we would stay. You gotta figure out a hotel, a resort to stay at.
Okay, did you not just hear me? Cheapskate! Do the cheapest family one, like the Art of Animation is that one.
Yeah, technically it's a value, but for the Lion King suite rooms, it's actually quite expensive. So we'd go to like Pop Century, or the
What is
All-Stars.
the difference?
Closeness to the parks.
I think the only thing is because we have a friend whose parents, Leah's parents, have a timeshare down there, and we're like, if it means paying a small fee for us to use the timeshare when it's not their time, and I don't know, cheaper to do like a rental or something like that.
But to have it all inclusive.
What are the prices?
The cheapest I've ever been able to stay there was like $1,000 a person. But that includes
$1,000 a person a night?
for the whole thing.
For the
But
whole
that
thing.
includes park hoppers for the whole week. That also includes all meals.
What do you mean by all meals? Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes. So you get a certain set of snacks, which you usually do as breakfast. So you grab like a donut for breakfast, which would be a snack, right? Then you would do, usually what we do is we do quick lunch then, or quick service then for lunch. And then we do a table service for dinner. So you have a certain number of snacks, a certain number of quick services, and a certain number of table services that you have for the week. And then you just kind of figure out how you want to do it. Sometimes we do a quick service for breakfast and have like pancakes.
Okay.
Like a pancake meal or whatever. Like our last day, we'll usually, if we have a leftover, a quick service left over, we will have that. Because generally we stay there long enough that last day to technically have passes to the parks, which means we have a quick service. And a table service, but then that way we can also just have a 2 table service dinner.
Okay.
And not have it cost extra. And now, the table service also comes with 1 alcoholic beverage for anybody over the age of 21 as part of the thing. So that $1,000 is just the convenience of it, and plus then
But
you
is
don't
that
have
just
to.
that's the food, or that's like food, lodging,
Park hoppers, which are the more expensive
the
ticket.
tickets?
Right, because there's 2 forms of tickets. There's the regular ticket, which means you can only, if you go to Magic Kingdom, that's the only place you can check in that entire day. That's the only park you can check in that entire day. Hoppers means you can jump from park to park, and you wouldn't get in trouble if you started the day in Magic Kingdom and wanted to have dinner at Epcot. You can do that.
Because you have to go through different gates to go through to other parks?
Well, no, because the parks aren't that close to each other. So the thing is that if you check in, so you have these wristbands at Disney World, Disneyland, you still have cards, I think, but you have the Magic Bands.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you scan your Magic Band and your thumbprint, then you're checked in at that park. So if you don't have a hopper and you leave that park and then you try to go to Epcot and you scan to go into Epcot, it will not allow you. So it'll give you a red mark and they'll be like, I'm sorry, you don't have a park hopper. You can't enter this park today. You'll have to wait till tomorrow. So you get the park hoppers. You can get the option of the regular pass as well, but who would do that? I'm a Disney snob. I will fully admit this.
And I've said it to you before, and I feel like I prefaced it with, like, I love you, but you're a Disney snob.
I am a Disney snob. So, I mean, if people didn't want to get the park hoppers, I could live with that. Because luckily there's places to eat everywhere, so we would just figure out how we would spend the day and then eat, lunch and dinner, because we usually eat breakfast at. Because the way we usually use park hoppers, specifically in our family, sometimes we'll jump over to a different park for dinner, depending on how we can manage different rides, like different fast passes and different reservations for dinners and stuff like that. But usually, like what my parents and I will usually do is we'll go to Epcot for breakfast. We'll go to Epcot, we'll go into the Norway Pavilion, and we'll have Norwegian breakfast. We'll have like lefse or
Why
something
in the
like that
hell
for
does
breakfast.
this girl love Norwegian stuff so much? I don't get it.
Because I am Norwegian. I grew up Norwegian.
Sarcasm. Follow along.
That's what we usually do. So we go to the Norwegian Pavilion, and the reason why the Norwegian Pavilion is open so early because the actual World Showcase actually opens like 2 hours later, I think, than Epcot itself. But the reason they open up Norway now, and so they open up Mexico as well because of it. But they open up Norway now because of the Frozen ride. Because that's so popular. It wasn't popular when it was Maelstrom. And it wasn't popular when it was Maelstrom. It wasn't popular when it was actually Norwegian, folklore. But you friggin' add Frozen to it and make it a Frozen ride. And all of a sudden people are like, hey, this is the greatest ride ever. It was a great ride when it was Maelstrom.
Someone's salty.
It's actually the exact same ride, too, because they didn't change anything. They just literally changed the decorations inside. It's literally all they changed. Exact same ride.
Cheaper and saves money and makes you more money.
Which is fine. Like I said, I like Maelstrom. It's actually a really fun ride. But when they made it Frozen, I like the Frozen ride, don't get me wrong. It's really fun the way that they've altered it to make it work with the track that they use. Or not the track, because it's a boat, but
So essentially, is it like a log ride, like the Paul Bunyan log shoot at the Mall of America?
yes, but it doesn't have the same drop.
Okay.
It doesn't have really any. It has one simple drop.
Okay, because there are 2 drops if you've ever gone to, I was about to say Camp Snoopy.
It will always be Camp Snoopy.
Yeah. So if you ever go to Camp Snoopy,
Yeah. Nickelodeon universe.
Nickelodeon. If you ever go there, like, that ride has stayed the same. There are 2 drops in it. There's the one, like, kind of tall
It's
one.
one of the ones we fooled my mom. Wait, sorry, go.
We're gonna have to hear that story
Yeah, I'll
time.
tell you in a second.
But, like, there's 2 drops, and then the last one is the nice big one. I remember it was School Patrol Day. Because every single freaking year they would celebrate school patrols and they'd send everybody in the city, or hell, even the state of Minnesota would flood the mall, and then we'd just be running around Camp Snoopy all day. So I rode the log chute ride with my friend Sari like 14 times. Like, insane.
Sounds like one of the times I went to Valley Fair with our improv group. We did the improv group for us and the improv group for Pine River. And we went down to Valley Fair. Whenever I talk about when I lived up in the Braden Lakes area, I have the same terminology as if I still live there. Came down to go to Valley Fair, and I was with a couple of girls from Pine River, and we just wanted to ride Wild Thing the entire day. So we did.
Oh my god.
The entire day.
I rode the Wild Thing a couple of times in a row, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm sick. Like, I'm sick now.
That day is, I think, the reason why I know exactly where to take the picture for when Shayna and I go and ride the Wild Thing, and I can go.
Yep. Well, it's when it's
in
that
the tunnel.
back house.
It's in the tunnel.
Yeah, and yeah. But it was funny at the log chute ride at Valley Fair, because when they had it, they now took it out and did some, like, extension for the water park.
Yeah.
So it was like Sarah, myself, and then I think it was Jada and her like good friend Heather at the time. Like, we all went in it. I feel like Sarah and I were in the front. And
This is when you guys were all in high school, right?
Yeah, like we like jammed that boat full and we went down. I think somebody else might have been in the boat with us. And, like, we went down, just huge splash, and other people were covered and soaking wet, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Can I have the broom and the dustpan?
Yeah, come on and get it. It's over by Nova's thing. I don't need it anymore anyway. I forgot to bring it back up.
Where is it?
There.
Hello. Oh.
Actually, while you're up, do you want to move the camera over just a little bit? This way towards... Not... I mean, that does the same thing, I guess. Yeah, she started migrating that way and noticed that she wasn't, like, anywhere near center frame anymore, so...
My bad.
It's okay.
Alright. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.
But no, so, when it came
This is why I'm not doing a YouTube channel. I don't even think about it.
So, the story about my mother. So my mom doesn't think she likes thrill rides.
I love how she doesn't think she likes them.
Here's the thing. She loves thrill rides. It's just, she's too afraid to try them. So, like, for example, she likes Rock and Roller Coaster, which is at Disney World, and it's an upside down ride. It jets you forward. Like, it doesn't start slowly like other. You know how like the Steel Venom works?
Yeah.
That's what they do with that one.
You keep telling me that I'll tell.
So Rock and Roller Coaster's like that. Ma!
She's upstairs now, you weirdo.
I thought I heard her in the lounge room. Anyway, so she likes Rock and Roller Coaster. She likes Expedition Everest, which is a lot like, aside from the part where you go backwards, a lot like Wild Thing.
So then that's kind of like the other part of Steel Venom.
Right.
Okay. Continue.
So she likes Space Mountain. One of her favorite rides is Thunder Mountain, and so she likes thrill rides. Right. She likes the corkscrew at Valley Fair.
That's a good one, yeah.
Right. So she likes thrill rides. Right. She's just afraid of trying them. So my dad, my sister, and I tend to fudge the truth to get her on a ride.
We tend to fudge the truth.
We do.
A little bit.
So
A lot.
we rode. So my dad took my sister and I on the log chute because my mom was like, I don't want to try that. And so we went on the log chute. When I was a kid, I was very little. Not very little, but I was probably like, I don't know, 9 or 10. And we went on the log chute.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom waited outside. We're like, oh, that wasn't bad at all. Hey, there's a cricket.
Nova! Sickin'!
So we went on the log chute, and when we got off, we were like, oh, it's really not that bad. Like, it's actually pretty fun. She's like, oh, no. That drop just seems too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, no, it's actually not. It's actually deceptively big. Because we knew about the first drop.
Continue on.
Which is like not less than half of
Nova,
what the
there's
actual,
the cricket.
Like less than half of what the second drop actually is. I go, no, it's fine. Like seriously, it's deceptively like big. So she's like, fine, I'll try it. So we get past that first drop. She goes, that was it? We're like, yeah, see, deceptively big. And then all of a sudden we started going up, and she, as we're going up that last like incline, she's like, I hate all of you, 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 I hate all of you. And it was the funniest experience of my life. I wish my mother was down here, so I don't know if she remembers that. I'm sure she probably does, when we fooled her to go on the log chute. And yeah, that was a great experience. So we do tend to fudge the truth to get her on throw rides, because we know she likes them. It's just a matter of, we've now figured out which ones she tends to like and which ones she tends to not. She doesn't like ones where you're not buckled in.
Yep.
So she doesn't like log chutes generally for that reason. So one of the last times we went to Disney World, they had actually added lap bars to Splash Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have when I was a kid. You just sat in the log, just like the log chute. And so my dad's like, you might actually like Splash Mountain now. She's like, no, they don't buckle you. And he's like, no, they do now. They have a lap bar. She's like, I'm not going to believe that. Because we tend to fudge the truth.
It's like, I love you all, but you're fucking liars!
And so she doesn't believe us that we're buckled in now. But we are. There is now a lap bar on Splash Mountain. That's unfortunate. Splash Mountain will be closed over there.
So, going back to Steel Venom, the first...
Steel Venom.
It was in high school. So, like, for physics day, we got there...
Get out of my house. You were in high... Alexa, when was the Steel Venom opened at Valley Fair?
This might answer your question. Steel Venom at Valley Fair opened on May 17th, 2003.
I was in high school
Does that
too!
answer your question?
Yes, thank you. So shut up.
Thanks for your feedback.
Yes, I was still in high school in 2003.
But, like, when we were in high school, for physics day,
I tend to be friends with people who are considerably younger than me. Because you were born in 92, right?
92.
Anyway, sorry, go.
Whatever. But it was for physics day, and we were actually there when the park first opened. So we're like, okay, great, we get to ride rides and be the first one, so not a lot of long lines. So we're like, which way do we go first? And we're like, let's ride Steel Venom. Sarah had never ridden Steel Venom before, so we ran around to Steel Venom. Well, there was actually another group who had gotten there first before us, so they went on. Well, as we're waiting in the ride, they do the countdown, and it's like Steel Venom launching in 3, 2, 1, and like barely say 1, and it screams out of there. Just blasts off, and I see, like, she went white.
Yeah.
White, pale in the face, and she turns
If you're not
to me,
expecting it, it's the worst.
because you just hear the screams echoing because as they go flying past, and she turns and looks at me like, you're making me ride this? Like, scared out of her mind, because it goes shooting off, and it goes up the corkscrew end, but then it comes back down and then back up. And so, like,
you go straight up one and you go corkscrew up another.
so when you go blasting off forwards, it goes up the corkscrew. But then when you go back down, and
It goes
it's
backwards up.
the straight, like, pipe, the straight part of the track. And it's fun, but then towards the end, like, a certain part in the ride,
It goes
it actually stops you. Like, it stops midair, so, like, because it's the steel venom, like a rattlesnake.
Yeah, it goes...
Yeah, it's shaking to do that sound effect, so, like, if you're not expecting it, you, like, start to, like, shake, and you're like, I'm gonna fall off. I'm gonna fall off. I'm gonna die on this ride!
Yep. Yeah.
As I keep shifting more and more out of frame.
No, you're fine now. Yeah, so the steel venom, fun fact, I'm actually terrified of the steel venom. Like, I ride it, and I love riding it. For the same reason I jumped out of an airplane.
It's fun, it's exhilarating, but it's still...
But it's terrifying. Because here's the thing. One of my least favorite things in the world is going backwards. I cannot handle going backwards. You'll notice, because you drive with me a lot.
Yeah.
Even if I'm just backing out of a parking spot, I'm going really, really slowly. I do not like going backwards. I just don't like it. So that's the one part of Expedition Everest, even though it's like my favorite ride in Animal Kingdom. That's one of the parts of oh my god, I get to go zoom in Dinosaur. And I get to go on the Kilimanjaro safaris. Okay, sorry. I just got really excited about Animal Kingdom for a second. The Bugs Life movie. Anyway, sorry. It's a 4D thing, and you get to feel ants underneath your butt, okay? Anyway.
Ew.
Muppets in 4D. Sorry, that's Hollywood Studios. Star Wars.
I don't even want to know what you feel on your butt from the Muppets.
You don't feel anything on your butt from the Muppets.
You know. You set yourself up for that one.
I know I did.
Zinger. But continue on with your story.
I still miss Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Or Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I get really distracted by Disney World, you guys. Anyway, so...
We never even noticed.
That's one of my things about Expedition Everest that I mean, you go backwards for a very short amount of time. It's probably the same amount of time you're going backwards on Steel Venom.
Yeah.
It basically, you go backwards to switch to a different track, and then you go forwards again. So, but that's one of the things that drives me absolutely bonkers about that one. And so Steel Venom is actually very scary for me, especially because I know that last time going up backwards, it's gonna do that thing. And that, for some reason, is just terrifying. So if you ever ride Steel Venom with me, you're just literally hearing me going, oh my god! 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 And then it stops and I go, oh my god.
Editing, Britt, make sure before this portion, people with the audio.
Oh, I have the microphone set that probably wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay, that's good.
My microphone has a couple settings. It's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Have to prepare yourself for your
my own loudness. I'm a very loud person.
But no, the ride at Valley Fair that I cannot do anymore, I've ridden it once and I'm never riding that goddamn fucking thing again, is the pirate ship ride. Fuck that ride! I almost suffocated to
That
death.
was the first upside down ride I ever went on.
I don't like that one. So when you were talking about the rock and roller coaster and it's like, oh
No,
yeah,
that one goes upside down more like the corkscrew goes upside down.
That's not bad.
No.
But this one, because it's basically like, it's looping around, so you have to have two bars. Well, you have the lap bar, which is fine to hold you in, but then you have the over the shoulder. Well, even in high school, I was fairly well gifted. And when it went down and went,
Same.
I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh god. Oh god. And then upside down, so now I'm like pushing even more into this thing, like, okay, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
We got off. I still remember this because it was one of my friends, I think it was Usha. She's like, that made my chest hurt. And then Jada was like, you don't even have a chest. You can't say anything. That made my chest hurt. And I looked at both of them and like,
shut up.
Neither of you can say anything.
Yeah.
That made my chest hurt. And then one of the guys, Stefan, he walked in, our classmate, and he's walking into this conversation like, I did not want to be a part of this. I'm walking away. see you goodbye.
Yeah.
It was just so funny, and it's like they wanted to ride the ride again. I'm like, my ass ain't getting on it. So if y'all want to leave your shit right here, great. I ain't getting on it.
Yeah, the only ride I won't ride, I mean, now I'm getting to a point where I can't really ride the corkscrew because it's just so, like, it actually messes with my back a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
But the only one, and this one also messes with my back, is the mousetrap one.
Oh my god.
I can't ride that one. That one messed with my back then, so I can't imagine what it would do to it now that it's even older.
So I remember going in middle school to Valley Fair, and like, it was for student government, so it's like, we're having fun and celebrating the year. We went, and there was a girl, I forget her name, but we're like, because they rate the rides, so it's like, it tells you the intensity, and that one was like a 4, so it was like the top intensity. And we're like, how is it that intense? And she's like, there's no way that this thing is that intense.
Well, it's because of the curves.
It's because of the curves.
Yeah.
So we get on and we start riding. So then it starts whipping on those turns, and it goes whoom, whoom. And I can hear her in the back because we're all in the same cart. And she's like, now I understand why it's rated this high intensity. And I just started cracking up. It was so funny. Because it's just like, you weren't expecting it. It's one of those ones that are so deceptive. It's like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. But then when you get to the sharp turns, because it's like you're turning on a dime. And you're just like, you're not expecting it.
Yeah, but because of how, like, fast those turns are, it
would mess up your back.
It messes up my back a lot. So I've only ridden it the one time. And I'm like, I cannot ride this again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only one I won't ride at Valley Fair.
I still haven't. So it was another time we were at Valley Fair. It was because it felt like we went a couple of times during high school, but like it felt like
What was it like to grow up down here? You got to go to Mall of America all the time. You got to go to Valley Fair all the time. Like, going to the Mall of America or going to the Valley Fair through school was like a once-in-a-lifetime treat.
Okay, you also have to realize, like, when I went the first time in 5th grade, people in my 5th grade class, like, thought I was, like, this, like, I don't know how else to say it other than, like, it felt like I was a leper. Not really, though, but you know what I, like, how come, you've only been there, like, this is your first time? How have you not gone before? Because Valley Fair is fucking expensive.
It's really expensive to go to Valley Fair.
And now they're charging parking.
Yeah, I know they're charging parking, which is why whenever Shane and I go, we have somebody drop us off.
So it's just like, what the yeah. So it was, like, absolutely insane. But there was a time we went in high school, and we go up on the ride, and it was the old, I think it's called the High Roller coaster, the old
wooden one.
Yeah, the old wooden white one.
There's High Roller, and then there's Excelsior.
I've ridden Excelsior, but then they have that newer one. There's that new roller coaster that I didn't even ride. But, we went on High Roller, and all of a sudden we're riding, and then it stops. And we're on the hill. So we're stuck on the hill, and we're like, what the hell are we doing up here? What is going on? You have one of our classmates up further in the cart of the thing, and it's like, he's saying, it's like, alright, we're all gonna die now, we're all stuck. We have more classmates down on the ground, like, laughing and pointing at us because they can tell that we're all stuck up here, and we're like, what the hell is going on? Turns out the other train got stuck trying to go into the house, so they had to stop us, so then we didn't crash into that one.
Yeah, there was one time when Shayna and I were riding the Wild Thing, and so the first time she and I rode the Wild Thing together was where that joke came in where I look like I'm bored for the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just about to be seniors in high school. It was like the very next day, Dad and I went to Arizona to go look at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff. And so it was like a month, I think, before we started our senior year. And we went there with her church youth group. And the rule was that we had to be with our buddies all the time. And I was like, I really want to ride the Wild Thing. And she was like, fine, I'll ride the Wild Thing. She goes, but I want you to look bored for the picture. And I was like, okay. And so so that's what I did. And it was like the hit. And so now every time we've done it, I've had to do that. There was one time where I was like, I don't want to look bored for the picture. I want to look like I'm actually having fun. She's like, fine, then I'll look angry. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So this particular experience where we went up to there where she was supposed to look angry and I was supposed to look bored, or I was supposed to be able to have fun versus looking bored. Just at the very top, right before they release you to go down the first drop.
So basically, you're like, part of the cart is already down into the drop, so they can't really, like, have you exit
Right.
the train.
The train stopped for like 5 minutes. Still don't know what happened. They never explained to us why they stopped the train. So Shayna's sitting there, and I'm even like getting nervous about what's going on. Like if they needed us off the ride, they could get a cherry picker, get us off the ride, right? So, but like, I don't know what's going on, so I'm even starting to panic, and I'm not afraid of heights. The only thing I'm afraid of is falling from them. Why I jumped out of an airplane, I'll never know. But, I mean, that's like the quintessential falling from heights. It's falling with style.
Until you go splat.
The parachute worked. Anyway, so obviously I'm still here. It stopped, and so I kept like looking over at Shayna, and I'm just seeing her staring forward like this, just. And I'm like, oh my god, she's about to have a panic attack. I can't handle Shayna having a panic attack. So I'm just like freaking out. Oh, do you remember Custer now? Do you remember Auntie Custer? I know. She's like, these boobs seem familiar. If you guys don't know, she made a home on Chester's Chester? You're Chester now. Chester's Custer's chest when she was very little. Anyway, so Shayna was freaking out. She goes, actually, you know what? Stopping at the top really helped because I was pissed off at you for making me ride this ride. And the very time we ride this ride, we get stuck at the top and I'm freaking out. So when I was angry at the thing, I just wanted to be wringing your neck. And I was like, yep, sounds about right. She's like, next time I get to be angry, I'm going to actually wring your neck. And I was like, okay. She's like, so you're going to look bored for the rest of your life on this ride. Yeah. Though I have got to say,
do you like the power tower?
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
Not as much as, like, the Tower of Terror, but yes.
But, like, with the power tower, like, the first time it was in middle school, like, really went and rode it, there was one of my good friends.
Tower of Terror.
Yes, I know. Angel, and it's like, she did fine the first time, but then, like, the next time, like, freaked out and panicked because she was on the outside, and I think the time before she was on one of the inside parts, like, there's 4 chairs, and if you can be on the inside or on the outside, yeah, freaked out, because then we had our middle school teacher who was like, oh yeah, it's like, if you stop, you don't stop, you just go crashing onto the ground, and it's like, breaking everything. I think, oh, thanks. Jerk.
Yeah, I gotta say, my favorite ride at, like, MacLeod Universe now is the newest Ninja Turtle ride they put in. Not the ones where you got the wings that you're flapping and try to turn yourself over.
Oh,
the new one that spins, that took where the Yellow Screaming Eagle used to be.
Oh, okay. The one that, like, you try and flap, that used to be the Mighty Axe.
Yes, that used to be the Mighty Axe. That one's terrible.
What, the Ninja Turtle one?
Yeah. But so was the Mighty Axe. The Mighty Axe was boring. I didn't like the Mighty Axe at all.
It wasn't that, great.
It was a really
I do
want to
ride the SpongeBob one because that does look fun.
Have you never ridden that one? The Rock Bottom Plunge?
Girl, I haven't gone to...
Girl, we're going to do a vlog at the Mall of America. We're going to be riding all the rides.
Okay. I do want to do the, like, Flying Dutchman, like, rope course. Like,
that's fun, too.
That and doing one of those escape rooms.
Yes, I want to do the Mission Mars one because I like the idea of pretending I'm in space.
Yeah. There's the prison... There might be a Prison Break one or a Gold Rush one. I want to do those, too.
I mean, I will gladly do those. Then there's a new laser tag place, too.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be really fun to get our whole group together and go do a laser tag.
It's one of those ones where it's like we definitely have to plan it and like tell people.
Well, because we'd need a bunch of people. Because like, what, we'd want you, we'd want me, we would want Leah, we'd want Sarah, and if Jones wants to go, and we'd want Kelly and Paige and Brooke and Dylan.
Mm-hmm. And then either plan it enough time, like, do it when your Dylan is here.
Yeah, doing Dylan's here.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun. Hi. Do you love me or something? You being lovey? Are you being a lovey-dovey? But yeah, so I want to do what I had this dream one time that the Mall of America wanted to like partner with me to do like basically from open till close, just Mall of America. So you'd eat breakfast at Mall of America, do like all the different experiences like the mirror maze and the rope
I feel like
course.
I crash into the freaking wall.
It would be easy to do because I've done it a couple times. I did it once with my cousin Elizabeth and once with Dylan.
I remember, like, doing the state fair one, and, like, I crashed into it, and then the person who was, like, controlling the ride was like, you need to not, like, you need to feel the wall, it's not there. Like,
Yeah, you're supposed to, you get these gloves that you put on, like,
well,
doctor gloves.
it was the state fair. Like, they didn't give those to us.
Supposed to walk like this the entire time. It's really disorienting being in there. And then when you leave,
Yeah.
it's even worse because it's like you still have this desire to walk like this.
I'm excited. You want to know why? Because I think it's getting to the point that Olivia, Gavin, and Charlie, they're getting old enough now that Kidway isn't going to suffice anymore at the Minnesota State Fair. So now it's taking them to the Mighty Midway. So some of those bigger rides, but then some of those, like, carnival games and stuff. Which is great and fun, but now it's going to be sad this year.
I don't know what that's like because I go to the state fair.
Well, just because it's usually, like, our family thing. So, because of this past one, Grandpa was in the hospital.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be Grandpa is gone.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes it really hard to go do the graves on Memorial Day weekend, is because that's something we always do with Grandma, and so not doing it without Grandma. I mean, Grandma's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just she's ashes in the ground. But doing it without her is like really weird for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually went and helped my grandma put wreaths on some of the grave sites, so it was like for great grandma and great grandpa Custer, and then great grandpa and great grandma Carlson, and then for grandpa. We both forgot to wear boots, and it's winter when we're doing this, so they don't shovel the cemetery. So we're trying to go towards the headstones, and it's like, I'm in tennis shoes going through this snow. And for some of them, they're in the ground, so they're covered with snow. We now have to go and, like, somehow dig them out and find them. Great Grandma and Great Grandpa Custer's was fairly easy because I'm like, okay, I remember this one. There's the tree, then there's the water spigot, and then they're like just a little few feet over. Found theirs quick. Grandpa's wasn't that bad because his was already mostly uncovered and we knew where his was because Grandma was worried that the wreath that she had originally put there would fall. There's some nice people in the world who I think helped her out and fixed it when it did fall. Because when we came back, it was still there. So cool. But it was Great Grandma and Great Grandpa Carlson's had to freaking, like, because they were in this they're in this roundabout up near, like, I forget what the cemetery is called. But it's an Anderson one, and it's over by, Highland Hills, that ski area, that one.
Okay.
Up near that area. So they're in this little roundabout. Literally, I uncovered like half of the roundabout trying to find them. Grandma was able to find them, but I'm like uncovering this whole huge section, and it's like, well, for the people whose relatives these are, hopefully that helped you. Because for fuck's sake!
Mom,
What?
I want to ask you something. Come in here real quick.
What?
Do you remember
Oh yeah, there's
there's a good thing to start the sentence with.
Camp Snoopy. One of our first times going down to Camp Snoopy, and we tricked you to go on the log chute.
No,
you
it was
tricked me.
Disney.
No, the log chute. It was the log chute.
Yeah, I do remember.
You
And then
remember?
You said, "Oh, that."
We were telling you that the drop wasn't that bad.
Right, and then we did the drop.
And then you were like,
first
oh.
drop. And oh, and it totally didn't dawn on me that we weren't down on the bottom. I mean, but I thought, oh, because I was so freaked out.
Yeah.
Oh, that totally wasn't. That was, oh.
Because I remember Dad telling you it was deceptively big. The drop is deceptively big.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then
then
and
we started doing the incline again, and all I remember was, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you,
Yeah.
I hate you, I hate
and
you.
then we get to the top and they stopped us,
Yeah.
too. And I thought, oh, prolong the agony. Yes, thank you. You guys are assholes. I didn't say that. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Very loudly in my head thinking that.
I would have said it like, you guys are assholes? Tricking me?
I was just so freaked out. So freaked out.
Is that why you won't believe us that we say that you're buckled in on Splash Mountain now?
Yeah, no. I don't care if you're buckled in. It doesn't matter. That final drop, just, I don't care. Yes, you come out of your seat, and it does help if you don't. But
You're
I
buckled
still
in now
won't.
at Splash Mountain.
doesn't matter.
Now, okay, I'm
It's
trying to
just
remember. Didn't
two,
you
I will not do that one or the
log shoot?
drop. Well, no, the Tower of Terror.
Oh,
I won't do that.
that's right. You don't do Tower of Terror. You walk through it though, because you like
Love
the line.
walking through
You
it.
like the
Love
queue.
walking through it. The
You
queue
like the
is
queue.
awesome. That is one thing Disney does exceptionally well. Why aren't you coming with us?
Talk to this one.
I told you could come. You just need to pay $2,000 to do it.
Well, she
You
wouldn't have
didn't
had to have paid $2,000 because you guys would have shared a room.
That's true.
But yeah, next time.
Y'all need to tell me when it is so then I can plan that
Right.
out and like
Right,
request the
because-
days off.
Well, that's if we do it with my daughter. I almost said sister. Your sister.
My sister.
Yeah. She doesn't plan things well. But yeah, I mean, seriously, we are thinking of going to Universal.
What, next time
So-
or this time?
Next time.
Oh, not this time. Yeah,
Okay.
next time. And maybe
I would love to go to
Which is-
Universal.
which
3
is
years.
fine because in
3 years.
2000
Can you be friends with her for another 3 years?
Yeah. Okay.
2021, they're opening the Nintendo World at Universal. So you all,
Oh, yeah.
y'all can go to Harry Potter World. I'll go to Mario.
Well, that's
World.
why we've been doing the Harry Potter movies because, you know, I do want to go to the Harry Potter world. And that's one of the, other than the fact that at least, I don't remember Universal so much because we've only been there the one time, maybe twice.
We went there twice.
But Disney World is so clean. I just love how clean it is. That's number one. But number two is the illusion. The illusion that they
oh my gosh,
and,
yeah.
and Universal is almost better at the illusion parts.
But okay, so we were discussing a little earlier the concept of staying on property versus staying off property,
Yeah.
and everything that you get staying on property. Would you ever stay off property ever again?
No. It isn't everything you get. It's just continuing to be part of the magic.
Yeah.
It really is. Even the
Your luggage just, you don't even have to go to baggage claim when you stay on property. You just leave, get on a bus, and go to Disney World. They pick up your luggage for you, and it magically appears in your room in about 2 hours.
It's one of those things that I'm going to be honest, I would want to try for myself because it's like...
Yep, and you do need to, because I think the first 2 times that we went to Disney World, we stayed off property, and it was wonderful.
3.
Okay, but it was wonderful. It
'Cause
really,
we-
really was.
Because we won the
loved
trip.
it. Won
Well,
the
you
trip.
went 4 times because you went on my first birthday!
Whatever. The thing is that, yeah.
They did. They left
We-
for Disney World on my
it was
first
wonderful.
birthday.
It really was wonderful because the way
On my
that
first
they
birthday.
do things, they do things so well. I
Yeah.
mean, even parking is totally so easy to do. It isn't like
Maybe
this,
you have to ride a tram to get to the park.
well, you ride a tram to get to the park, and thank God we did because that saved us one night. That saved us.
Not
What is
for-
that story?
Not for the
It
reason you
saved our
think.
lives. It did. It
Not
saved our lives.
the tram itself did not save our lives.
Oh, the
Yes.
cricket's right there.
Yes. Oh, don't kill it.
I'm not gonna kill it.
You are. You're gonna put it in the tank.
Oh.
Anyway,
Did she miss the part where I was putting it in my mouth?
no, I didn't miss it. I turned away. Anyway, so it is
Trick
wonderful
it,
staying off property too, but when you stay on property, there's just more.
And then sometimes you get to stay in a Polynesian bungalow.
Oh, well, no, I don't know how it goes. I'd rather win the lottery.
Yeah. So my sister, last time we went, had literal, like,
Magic
happen. She got a
Possibly
voicemail.
twice.
Right, possibly twice. Because, okay, so the one that was possible was when they checked in at, I think it was Epcot, when they went in through, I think, when they went through the gate at the World Pavilion.
We'll tell the other one first, though.
Oh, okay.
Makes better sense.
So we were out at, I think we were at Yak and Yeti.
Yeah, we were at Yak and Yeti.
And she had missed a call, and she listened to the voicemail, and she goes, I don't know if this is, like, a legitimate voicemail. And we're like, what? She's like, no, like, this is weird. I need to call the Polynesian, like, right now. And we were like, what's going on?
And this was the day before we left.
This was the day before we left. We left because Mark and Melissa and the kids
Always
stay a
stay
little bit
longer.
longer. A few days. And she's like, I don't know if this is a real voice. Like, this is insane. And she's not saying what's going on. She's not saying anything.
So now all of you are freaking out beyond,
we were
Including her husband.
We were concerned.
Yeah. And so she plays the voicemail for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this person, this lady, going, Melissa, you know, today you guys get to experience real Disney magic. We would love to check you out of your rooms in the Polynesian and give you the bungalow for the rest of your stay.
Which
Mind
is
you,
4 days.
right, the bungalow is like $4,000 a night.
It's $2,000.
Okay, $2,000 a night for the bungalow.
It's a 2-bedroom.
It's a 2-bedroom house.
That's out on the docks. It's out over the water. It's on stilts over the water.
Yep.
It has its
It
own
is-
swimming pool, its own deck, and when you sit out on the deck,
It's got a kitchen. It's got
you-
everything.
perfect view of the castle,
Yeah.
just
Wow.
across the water. It
Yeah.
is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's worth $2,000. I mean,
It's yeah.
I'd never pay it, but
No, I would
it's
never
worth the
stay there on my
$2,000.
own. And they got this free upgrade. And so she's like, I don't know if this is legitimate. And we're all like, this can't be legitimate.
but
not-
call anyway.
Yeah, do
Right.
not press the link.
But call the Polynesian and
Yeah.
see. And so she calls the Polynesian and they verified that, no, that was a legitimate voicemail. And she goes,
You are now experiencing
Right.
Disney magic.
right, she goes, you can come and pick up your, you can come pick up your access.
Right, and they would deliver their luggage.
They were going to pick up their luggage from their rooms and deliver it.
They had to pack, and then they
Yep.
would deliver their luggage the very
Oh wow.
that was in the evening. They stayed in their hotel room that night, and
Yeah.
then the next day they moved to
And so
the Polynesian. So we
That afternoon,
got to go see it.
we got to
and
go in and see the Polynesian right before we left.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a flippin' 2,000 square foot, not 2,000, I suppose,
No.
but maybe 1,000.
Yeah.
No, it was.
I would say maybe like
more.
1,500.
1,500 square foot house.
Yeah.
It
Like legitimate
Is-
house.
and it's
Wow.
beautiful. It's modern and beautiful and
Yeah.
gorgeous living
But
room.
it's like it's
2
like
bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
yeah, but it's also like very Polynesian inspired. So it's like you're
like
in
a hut.
it's like you're in a hut. It's so cool. And yeah, so my sister just got to experience that. Well, like a couple of days before that, they walked into I think it was Epcot
Was it
through
before
the
or after? It was the next day. I thought they were.
Was it after?
They went. They had. It was after we left.
Okay, maybe
So
it
then
was.
they-
Oh, that's right, because it wasn't while we were with them.
Right.
They went to Epcot, and they think they walked in through the World Pavilion entrance. And they walked in, and Avi scans her magic band. Yes, the cricket is still in my hand. She scans... It's biting me. It's fine.
Go put that thing in one of them.
It doesn't hurt. It actually kind of tickles a little bit. They walk into the World Pavilion. What to say it is. Whether I'm right or not, I don't know.
It
But-
really doesn't matter
Right.
to the story.
So Avi scans her wristband, and they're, and they walk through. I can't remember the whole story, but they walk through, and Melissa just overhears the lady that checked them in. Oh man, if I had a choice, I would have given it to them.
Boy, so if it's too bad. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's too bad. She says, I so would have given that to them. So, and those kids are so cute. They're
Right.
just so damn cute.
We think they
She thought that it was, because there's other Disney magic one step above that.
is
staying in the castle.
Right, there's
Yeah.
one suite inside the castle.
Yeah, the Cinderella suite.
The Cinderella suite.
Yeah, and you can't
You're
book it.
only invited.
You're only invited. And
And
they
we
thought
think
that was...
that they were possibly going to
But
get
because
that.
they already had the Disney Magic.
Right, they couldn't get it.
It was like, I think their name came up for Disney Magic.
And they were just,
And the Polynesian got it before.
Well, because that's where they were
anybody
staying, so it
else.
made it easier. But yeah, so we think that they could have spent the last night there in Cinderella's suite.
Oh man.
That's what they think. They don't
Right,
know.
we have no idea, but that's what the lady at Disney World said. Was,
Wow, it's too bad. We would have given it to them.
yeah.
In other words, they knew that they already took the
Well,
Disney
because
Magic. They already
because
had
all this
Disney
information
Magic
pops
happen.
up. When you
Yeah.
scan your Magic Band, all this information just kind of pops up. It has your picture. It has like other accesses, like other images of you entering the park and leaving the park. There's a lot
Well,
of
in
information.
any park notes in case you're an asshole, so then other
Right.
employees know. Like,
Right. So it's a safety precaution. So all this information pops up. So what I also understand pops up is where you are staying. And I think that must have been what popped up, was that they were staying at the bungalow.
So are there bungalows at the Key West?
That's where we're staying, is Old Key West.
Oh, okay.
It's like the highest level moderate hotel, moderate resort. 'Cause it's basically the price of a deluxe. We may as well have just stayed
We
at the
would have
Wilderness
saved.
Lodge.
We saved like $800 for 7 days. We saved $800, so like $100 a day, not staying at the Wilderness.
Yeah, that would have been fun, because the last time we stayed at the Wilderness was when I made us late was the last time we went out as a kid. And I refused to go to Disney World because the season premiere of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy was airing.
So long. Oh, and to tell you my tram story.
Oh, the tram story! Yeah, sit back down and tell the tram story.
We
I just stayed away from my
decided
family drama so far.
at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, because it was a bad night. We were all going to go back. So all three of us got in the car, and I was driving, and Alan and Brittany
All
were
three of
sleeping.
us?
Yeah, Dad came with.
Oh, Dad came with?
Yeah, Dad came with. And we
I don't remember.
got in the car, and we were going through Royalton. Now, it's between, here and up north, it's on Highway 371. No, is that 371? I don't know.
Where were we?
Royalton.
Yeah, that's 10.
10? Okay, so we were just outside of Royalton, just this tiny little town, enough to just, basically get gas, and that's it.
There is
And
a gift shop there.
Oh yeah, Treasure City. It's
Treasure
awesome.
City.
It's awesome. We need to stop there someday.
Graham and I did. It's a great store.
It's great. Anyway, so it's been there for millennia. It was there when I was a kid.
It was there when Grandpa
And
was
it's
a
got
kid.
the same stuff.
Grandpa grew up in Royalton.
Yep, not surprised. Okay.
Anyway, so we're all tired. Those two were sleeping, and I'm the one driving. And I'm just driving and it's a 2-lane highway. And I realize that I'm driving, it's like, I don't know, probably 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's really, really early, late, whatever. And I'm driving, and I realize there's a Walt Disney tram in the ditch beside me. And it's like bumping along in the ditch beside me. And I thought, well, and I'm not looking at it, I just see it in my periphery. And I'm thinking, that is really weird. Then all of a sudden, it darted in front of us. It went right across the street in front of us. And I slammed on the brakes and realized
She was
I
asleep
had
behind the wheel.
fallen asleep.
Oh my
And
god.
she was dreaming it.
I was dreaming that while driving.
Oh my god.
And the only thing I could think of is that the Walt Disney tram saved our lives. Because it darted in front of us and woke me up.
Yep.
And I pulled off to the side of the road, and everybody was like, "What happened? What happened? What's going?" Because I slammed on the brakes. Because
I wish my
otherwise
cat
I was going to
loved me.
kill those people that were on the tram. So weird.
It
And
was
I could
really
see
weird.
it bumping along in the ditch beside. I mean, it wasn't like it knew it wasn't on the road. It was. And I'm going, what the hell? That is just so weird. And then, boom! It darted in front of me.
Oh, wow.
There was also the time that Melissa saw a kangaroo in the ditch right outside of Cross Lake.
Yeah. I swear, to this day she'll say.
She does.
Well,
to this
actually,
day.
to this day she says she never did say that, but she did.
That's fine. But yeah, for many years, she's like, no, there was definitely a kangaroo. And Melissa, this is Minnesota. She goes, I don't care. There was a kangaroo.
God, I have like a rat's nest.
Me too. I didn't brush my hair this morning.
I don't understand how my hair is that much of a rat's nest, though. Curly hair problems.
Curly hair girl. Yeah. I just have wavy hair, which makes life a lot easier. But it's only wavy once it reaches past my chin.
No, what's funny?
It's straight and then waves.
Because when I was a child, I was a terror. I'm just going to say it.
Same.
I was a terror.
Same.
So I couldn't sit still long enough. I'm just always on the move, just everywhere.
I would talk to
So-
strangers.
Yeah. There was a time, like,
How I
when I
do.
was very young, my hair was so curly. Like, like, really, like, ringlet curls. Like, those gorgeous little, like, ringlets.
Like Shirley Temple.
Yes. Essentially Shirley Temple looking. And it was just so cute
But
and adorable.
natural.
Yes. But natural. And my Aunt Marlene, who knows this about me, that I was, like, this terror and it,
Yeah.
like, everywhere, actually asked my mom, like, do you curl her hair? Auntie Marlene. Really? Really? This child who cannot sit still for 2 minutes, you really think I'm going to put this hot iron near her head? No! But, okay, I do love your mom, like, yes, not spending it off-site ever again. But it would be fun to go to Universal, so I need to be friends with you for 3 more years.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out a way for a friend to come this time, but the only reason I didn't mention that idea this time was because when you and I had tried to get going the adult trip with our group of friends, you kind of made it clear that it was like, I don't know if anybody can all, get a full week off, and I was like, oh well, if she can't get a full week off, then I won't even mention it.
I think at that time, just because of the fact it was the, like, we were all still doing, like, part-time stuff, and
Right.
it's hard to do that when
Right.
it's, like, and a lot of the times it feels like we do some last-minute planning, so
Yeah.
it's, like, one of those things that I would want to be able to plan a little bit better, so
Oh
then
yeah,
I
no,
have, like,
we usually give ourselves an entire year. We knew about going to Disney World about a year ago.
okay. But you do want to go to Universal. So that means, like, 2022?
2023.
23.
Because we do it every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
Yeah, so we went in 2011, then we went in 2014, then we went in 2017, now we're going 2020.
Okay. 2023. Okay.
Which means you have time to also save up. And then you and I can get our own hotel room, or our own resort hotel room somewhere.
Because I also want to try, because
Which will be nice, because then I don't have to sleep in a room with 2 people who have opposite snoring schedules! I don't sleep at Disney World. I don't think I have ever slept a full night at Disney World.
because are you with your parents?
Yeah. I spend the night in their rooms with my parents, and they both have opposite snoring schedules. Because my mom snores in a deep sleep, and my dad snores in a light sleep. And they have the same sleeping schedule. So their snoring schedules are opposite. So I'm sitting there all night listening to dad snoring, then mom snoring, then dad snoring, then mom snoring, then dad snoring. I think I get maybe 3 hours of sleep a night.
Here's the problem, I do snore. But I think if
I've slept in the same room with you, though, haven't I? Yeah. At Leah's house. At Leah and Sarah's house. That New Year's Eve.
yeah. But I think when I snore, it's in sync with your sleep schedule so that you're at least able to start and fall asleep.
Right.
And I think because the fact your dad snores in a light sleep, you're not able to fall asleep enough to
Well,
be
that's
able
just
to
it.
sleep.
So, like, if I'm in a light sleep, any kind of noise will wake me up. But if I'm in a deep sleep, you have to shake me to wake me up. There have been things I have slept through that my parents, I'll go up into their ear and be like, did you hear that last night? And they're like,
Nope.
no. How could you not have heard that? So I was probably in a deep sleep when it happened. You know me in a deep sleep.
My parents have also figured out that there are certain things, like when you first wake me up, they, like, will try and tell me something, like something to do later that day to kind of help out at the house. And then I'm like, okay, yeah. It's like, repeat that back to me. Because if I'm not able to repeat it back to you, I'm still asleep.
Yeah.
Because I am able to have full conversations.
One of the times I sleptwalked at my grandma and grandpa's house, actually I think grandpa had already passed away at this point, but one of the times I sleptwalked at my grandma's house before she moved in with my aunt and uncle, I walked, so her townhouse, there was technically 3 levels. It was technically 2, but then there was a basement. My grandma slept in the basement.
Sorry, it was irritating me with my hair.
That's fine. And so I slept upstairs in the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the main level and then the basement. My mom and grandma were downstairs in the basement playing video games. My grandma loved watching me and my mom play video games. So they were playing video games while I was asleep upstairs. And apparently, because I remember waking up downstairs, I got up out of my bed, walked all the way downstairs, sat on the couch, and looked like I was watching my mom play video games. And grandma asked, she goes, I thought you went to bed. I said, I did. My eyes were open. I was watching my mom play video games.
I feel like you've told me this.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I did. And that's, well, what are you doing up? I don't know. And she's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, next thing they know is I just, like, laid down on the couch and went back to sleep. And then I woke up. Like, actually woke up. And I went,
And you freaked out?
what am I doing down here?
No, there are times after work I'm so tired, and like I was falling asleep in our chair out in the living room, and Mom at first saw me and she could tell that I was like, she thought I was just resting,
Yeah.
and just like, but then she realized I was falling asleep. So then Dad goes and he like shouts my name and claps his hands. So he's like, Kelly! And like really loud. So I wake up with a start. I'm like, what's going on? What? And Mom looks at Dad. It's like, that was evil. That was mean.
Yeah.
You're going to clean up the chair now because she just pissed herself.
There was, the first time my parents found me sleepwalking. Actually, I think my sister was the one that found me sleepwalking. They just heard me in my bedroom going, because our family room was right outside my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So they were watching TV outside, and all they heard was, no more TV! And they're like, what the heck? And so they walked into my bedroom and saw me turning my TV backwards. Because I had a small TV in my bedroom because I can't fall asleep without sound or light. And they saw me turning my TV backwards, and my parents were like, what are you doing? So they woke me up, and that's the weirdest sensation in the world. Waking up standing up.
Like,
That's such a weird sensation.
aren't you not supposed to wake people up if they're sleepwalking?
Because they can fall over and hurt themselves, yeah. Or have, like, panic attacks, yeah. But I was so young that it really wasn't a big deal. But I heard my sister say, you're not supposed to wake people up when they're sleepwalking. And then that was when they're like, I think we might have a problem.
Ouch!
And then there was another time where I was about to cook breakfast in my sleep.
Oh, fun. Pancakes?
No, I don't know what I was going to make, but I was about to crack an egg over a stove. So apparently I was making at least fried eggs. Yeah. That's when I lived alone in St. Cloud. That was a really scary one. Because I was like, what would have happened if I would have cooked a full breakfast?
I don't know why you wanted to bite my feet, you weirdo.
Because she likes to bite anything that moves. Sorry, maybe I gotta reposition myself. I know. I had the audacity to hold you for a second. But yeah, so that was... I have a lot of walking in my sleep stories. There was one time where... So my Adam cousin...
Mm-hmm.
My cousin Adam also used to sleep in his walk. I don't know what words are today. What is English?
A language that apparently you can't speak.
Too much Norwegian. I'm trying to relearn my Norwegian. Anyway, and I learned Polish for the first time. Anyway, he used to walk in his sleep too. And so there was one time where my aunt and uncle, Debbie and Kevin, they went off on like a cruise. or something. So Grandma and I went down to Chicago to take care of Adam, Chris, and Jake. And Grandma felt really uncomfortable because at the time they had a pool in the backyard.
Oh God.
And so and now mind you, no Adam nor I ever ever walked outside. We never left houses when we slept walk. But Grandma wasn't going to
Risk
that. So she barricaded the sliding glass door with the couch. She's like, Brittany, help me move this. And we moved the couch in front of the sliding glass door.
So when we were really little, and my aunt and uncle used to live, I forget where. It was like Brooklyn Park, maybe? Like, it was kind of farther out. It was a nice, really big, beautiful home. And like, they had a sliding glass door. So like, one of the few times, like the only time we slept over at their house to hang out with them, we were all very, very young. So we were like in sleeping bags on the floor in the living room. Well, Aunt Jenny came downstairs to check on us. She's looking around and she's like, she can see me, well, she can hear me snoring in my sleeping bag and see Jeffy, but then she couldn't see Steven. And she's freaking out because it's like, where's Steven? Oh my God, I've lost one of my brother's kids. Where is this child? So they're freaking out because they do have a sliding glass door.
Yeah.
Well, in it, there's like, essentially like a broomstick, like a dowel to like lock it.
Right.
Couldn't find him, but like, my aunt was freaking out.
Yeah.
To the point that she finally went over to the sleeping bag and she touched it. He went to the bottom of the sleeping bag, curled up in a ball, was at the bottom of the sleeping bag.
Oh,
just
my
curled
goodness.
up. Yep. So she freaked. Yeah, only one of the only times in which we slept over at my aunt and uncle's house. Never again.
That's funny. Yeah. I don't know.
Never again.
All right. Well, we should probably end it here.
Yeah. Because I probably still need to learn what needs to be done around here.
I still need to walk you around how to do everything that we need to do. She saw something outside. She's like, I want to play with that. But yeah, so we'll do some more videos later.
Bye.
But yes, bye for now, because this is already going to be a terror to edit. It's alright. I'll have some beer. Or wine, or vodka, or all three. I have learned that mixing wine with vodka is not tasty.
What is it? Liquor before wine, feeling fine, or wine before liquor, never sicker? Something like
I heard
that.
it as beer.
Oh.
Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Liquor, or beer before liquor,
Never sicker.
never sicker. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, alright, I gotta turn that off now. It's so hard to get out of my couch. That was 2 hours and 11 minutes. Being lactose intolerant is fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend losing that enzyme. Fun. Yeah, I know. I gotta remember to bring all the lactate.
Gotta get your stuff together.